welcome to another episode of our further mathematics class. Today we shall continue with the topic which says differentiation, and the method we want to use today is method 3 called chain rule. Now, what is the principle behind this chain rule? Chain rule is a method used when we have more than one term expressed as a unit and raised to a single power. I repeat, chain rule is a method used when we have more than one term enclosed as a unit and raised to a single power. Alright, the formula goes thus: dy over dx equal to dy over du times du all over dx. This is the general method of chain rule. Okay, so what does that explanation entails? It entails that when we have a function like this, y is equal to 2x raised to the power 3 minus 4, all raised to the power 4. For example, this is more than one term enclosed in a bracket and is raised to power. If you are to use the general method, you run into errors. The only method you can employ here to get an accurate answer is the chain rule. Okay, so what does this employ? It goes thus that our u will be every term inside a bracket, that is 2x raised to the power 3 minus 4. That is what our u will be. Then our y will now be u, since representing this with what? U raised to the power 4. Okay, so we have separated it. Now we are going to differentiate u with respect to x, and we differentiate y with respect to u. Okay, later we now get the values and plot it inside this formula, and we get our answer after multiplication. So it goes thus. Let's start with the first one. Okay, u is equal to what? 2x raised to the power 3 minus 4. Now we differentiate the u with respect to what? The x. So this will be 3 times 2. Okay, 3 times 2x raised to the power 3 minus 1. Alright. Minus, if you differentiate the constant, it becomes 0. That is what we obtain from the general method. Okay, from here now, our du with respect to the x is now 3 times 2, 6x. Okay, 3 times 2 is 6x, 3 minus 1 will give us 2. When we differentiate 0, the constant becomes 0, so there is no need. Then we are done with the y with respect to the x. Next that we are going to differentiate is y equal to u raised to the power 4. Differentiate this with respect to u, we have dy over du. So this will give us 4, which is the power times the base u raised to the power 4 minus 1. So after differentiation, we have that our dy over du is now what? 4u raised to the power 3. Okay, so we have gotten the individuals. Let us put the formula together. So the formula for chain rule says dy over dx equal to what? Dy over du times du over dx. So substituting this, we are going to have dy over dx equal to, now what is our dy over du? See it here, it is 4u cubed times, what is our du over dx? Our du over dx is 6x squared. So when we multiply this, we have our dy over dx, so be 4 times 6, 24. 24x squared u cubed. Alright, recall that we substitute for u is equal to 2x cubed minus 4. Alright, well, we are going to put the value for u here now. It will now be dy over dx equal to 24x squared. What is the value of u now? We put it inside bracket. 2x cubed minus 4. What is the power? The power here is now 3. So this becomes our answer after the So we go with question number 2. Question number 2 says we should differentiate with respect to is y equal to bracket open 3x squared minus 2. Okay, all raised to power 3. This is the function we have. Alright, you know how we do it? Let our u be every term inside the bracket, which is 3x squared minus 2. That's what our u will be. Then what of our y? Our y will be y equal to u. It's representing this raised to power 3, so it will be u raised to power 3. Okay, let's start with the first one. U is 3x squared minus 2. Then our du with respect to x, the x will give us 2 times 3 x 2 minus 1. If we differentiate the constant, we have what? Minus 0. So our du over the x is now what? 6x only. Alright, what of y equal to u raised to power 3? That will be the y with respect to the u. So this gives us 3 times u raised to power 3, remove 1 from the power. So this will be the y over the u equal to 3 times this will give us 3u squared. And the formula for chain rule now comes to play. It will now be the y over the x equal to the y over the u times the u over the x. So we now have it the y over the x equal to, what is our dy over the u? Our dy over the u is 3u squared times, what is our du over the x? Our du over the x is 6x. Okay, finally we have our dy over the x to be 3 times 6 is 18 xu squared. Recall that our u has value. The value of our u is 3x squared minus 2. So substitute in this formula. Let's see what we are going to obtain when we substitute here. So let's leave this part of the board and complete question number 2. If you have any problem as we go along, please do that. Ask your question in the comment section and I will attend to you. Okay. So finally, we are going to have the y over the x equal to, what is the value here now? The value here says 18 xu squared. So we know the value of our u now. So we are going to replace it here. To now be the y over the x equal to 18x, open a bracket, the value is 3x squared minus 2, all raised to power 2. This becomes the answer we obtain. We go over to question number 3. Question number 3 says root bracket open, okay, 1 minus 2x cubed. Alright, this is the function that we have. Okay, let me write it here. We have this function that y is equal to root bracket open 1 minus 2x cubed bracket closes. So if we have this function, to differentiate it using chain rule, what we are going to do first is to write this in index form. It will be y is equal to bracket open 1 minus 2x raised to power 3 bracket closes raised to power 1 over 2. So this is how it will look if we write it in the index. Okay, so we continue from here. Alright, so we continue from this part of the board. Okay, so let's start. Our u will now be everything inside the bracket, that is 1 minus 2x cubed. Okay? Then our y will be u raised to power 1 over 2. We now differentiate u with respect to x and y with respect to u. So let's start with the first one. U equal to 1 minus 2x raised to the power 3. Then our du over the x will be, if you differentiate 1, you have, that is 1 is a constant, you have 0 minus, if you differentiate this, it will be 3 times 2x raised to the power 3, remove 1 from the power. Then our du over the x will be negative 6x squared. That's what it will be. Then we differentiate this one. Y is equal to the u raised to the power 1 over 2. When this happens, it will be dy over du. So this will give us, the power is 1 over 2. It will now be 1 over 2 times u. 1 over 2 minus 1. So our dy over du will be 1 over 2 times u raised to the power minus 1 over 2. Okay, clean this part of the board and continue solving. Alright, so it's done. We'll continue. Dy over du will now be 1 over 2 times 1 over root u. This is what we are going to get. Finally, our dy over du will be written as 1, because 1 times 1 is 1 over 2 root u. Okay, since we have successfully gotten the values of our du over the x and dy over the u, it's time for us to employ the general formula of chain rule, which says dy over the x equal to dy over du times du over the x. Substitute. Okay, so everybody can see the board. So the y over the x will be, what is the value for this dy over the u? The y over the u, we have it here to be 1 over 2 root u times, what is the value of u over the x? The u over the x is negative 6x squared. So when we multiply these two, we have the y over the x equal to negative 6x squared all over 2 root u. So you can cancel 2 cancel here 1, 2 cancel here 3. So our dy over the x will be negative 3x squared all over root u. Okay. So this part of the board to complete our task. Okay, done. So here we are going to have our dy over the x to be negative 3x squared over root u. We are not going to leave it like this. Recall that u is what? U from what we started with. Our u is 1 minus 2x raised to the power 3. So we are going to substitute it here, and we are going to have dy over the x equal to negative 3x squared all over root bracket of 1 minus 2x raised to the power 3 bracket closes. This becomes our final answer after differentiation. Alright, my wonderful viewers, this is where we bring this lesson to an end today. Do me a favor to click on the bell icon for notification if you haven't done so. Also share and let this video go viral. Also click on the subscribe button if you haven't done so. Thank you and remain blessed.